So what are you up to today in foreign country land?
Yeah, I'm just doing some drawings. I'm supposed to work on some illustrations, but I just want to do I just decided that I'm going to do my own stuff today and do that tomorrow.
That's a wise plan. It's a
Yeah.
wise plan.
Talking, talking with famous people.
Once I start painting, then I get all these other ideas for other things that I want to do. So then that's a really good start for my other projects. Because then I'm doing this boring thing, but then I'm getting like much more need to do the other stuff, which wouldn't even happen if I didn't have any deadline. Then I would just be doing nothing, you know? You know, when you're
Right,
forced to do something boring, that's when you start thinking of all the fun things you want to do. So that's when I kind of start doing all the fun things.
right.
Um,
What's weird
yeah.
though is even if something's fun, if somebody pays you to do it, now all of a sudden it's work.
Well, that's the thing. That's why I thought that illustration would be a good job for me because I like to draw, but whenever there's a deadline and I have to draw stuff that other people want, then it's not fun anymore, you know? It just always spoils it. Even if sometimes they even give me freedom, but when I know that they're paying me, I feel some kind of pressure and then I don't feel free anymore and then it's not fun.
It's called Eric someday is going to put together his book of kids' poems. And when he
Mm,
does, he is very much going to want somebody who can draw pictures. How many poems? Well, at the moment there are three, but I plan
yeah.
to have more.
No, no, let's see it.
Okay, well, here's one of them. Here's a link to the poem. And now I'll read it out loud for you too.
Yes, please.
There was a girl named Frances Goss who knew what lived between her teeth, who was obsessed with dental floss, who queried then her brother Keith if teeth left unattended bore some little creatures who would build a hut or two, a general store, a barber's shop, a chandler's guild, a stable with a smithy near, until the motor car replaces, a ballroom with a chandelier, where they would go to dance their paces. Her brother indicated yes, and told her they were called the Dents. He warned his sister don't forget that Dents would squat and pay no rents. These creatures were a nasty bunch, who trod inside with mud on shoes, who got in food fights every lunch, who loudly voiced offensive views. But Keith again, now as before, made Frances roll her eyes a bit. She knew already so much more than he about these fabled dents. In truth, she'd known when she'd asked, had learned of them from Puckertart. Yet she showed fear that quite relaxed, that brother Keith might feel smart. These dents sound dangerous indeed, said Frances to the older Keith. I'll turn to you when next I need advice about my lovely teeth. But Frances's dents long ago had bended to her management, and long since learned how to forego the sloppiness and damaging. In fact, she'd put dents into groups, and sent them out as work for hire. They passed out flyers, jumped through hoops, and worked for years and then retired. And Frances kept inside her mouth, behind her second bottom molar, an old folks' home built facing south and powered green with only solar. Which brings us back to dental floss, the way that Frances kept things clean and stopped her dents from getting cross, and thus became their royal queen.
Wow. That's so good.
Thanks. I've
Yeah.
got two other kid poems, and if I think they're fairly long like that. They actually could probably comprise a kids book the way they make kids books with just three or four poems that length. I don't really know about that, but I do think that when I assess the things I do, kids poetry seems the most legitimately marketable and normal thing that I make that I could actually try to sell, maybe. You know,
Mm. Have you ever thought about drawing yourself, though?
I'm terrible at drawing. I can't draw for shit.
No, but
My,
that might be really interesting.
not only am I bad at it, but I mean, the thing is this: I'm fine with doodling and sketching shit out that's just for kicks, and it's usually made up of like boxes and triangles and things like that, you know.
Yeah, but I mean that's cool.
Right? But that's not pictures for a kid's book. That's Eric being weird. That's
Yeah, but
different,
you know, kids really like weird stuff.
right? But not bad, right?
Yeah, they do.
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 Once there was a time when everybody told me that I was doing wrong. No, they don't. I said, what? Are you sure? You should check your lunch. And if you choose, then you'll determine too that, yeah, I'm right, they do.
Right?
Yeah, they do.
The whole idea is this is supposed to be my one most normal thing that I do, right? I do everything else I do is weird.
But the cool thing with kids' books is that they don't have to be normal.
I'm not saying they do have to be normal, and I'm saying that my poems in and of themselves are kind of weird. So, I mean, I did have Cameron illustrate this music video for one of the other poems, but to be honest, I like his pictures fine.
Then you should probably, if you don't want to draw it yourself, which I can also understand, you should find some kind of drawings that you feel that you resonate with. You know, like a style that you.
Well, the picture I put there, those are Cameron's pictures for another one of the poems that I made into a song. So I needed the pictures for a music video. To be honest, I'm not thrilled with them. They're okay. It's the right general gist of the idea, but.
Which pictures? Did you send something?
Just put a link to
The YouTube one?
Yeah. My friend Cameron did the pictures for that video right there. And that's for another.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that's what I meant before, that I kind of like that style.
Here's the thing. The writing is very polished. Like, that's iambic tetrameter all the way through. The meter's perfect. The rhyme scheme's perfect. Mm-hmm. Everything's tight and clean. So what I'm thinking is, if there's one thing that I can sell to bourgeois people, like, upward professionals with kids, it's this stuff. And I could, but it's got to look boutique-y. You get rich people with kids, they want boutique shit.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah.
That's how shit happens in the world for me. I just start talking about it.
Oh yeah.
And one day I'll talk to somebody who jumps on it, or who knows, maybe 4 months from now, all of a sudden I'll have a publisher interested, and I actually need to hire somebody to do it. Maybe I'll talk to you. I don't even know what your drawings look like. It doesn't matter. That's not how I roll.
It's funny because what I imagined in my head was something really kind of like your friend's drawings, Well, but I get what you're saying when you're saying about the wanting to sell, for a wider range of people to buy them.
Right. I want Frances to be an appealing-looking little girl that little girls will find appealing, and their parents will say, that's how I want to picture my little girl, Yeah, yeah. And so Frances doesn't look appealing enough in that drawing. That's my thinking about it. It's not that I don't like Cameron's drawings, and I really enjoyed working with him on making that video. He's really
but I get what you mean. It's not for that idea. It doesn't work. Yeah.
It's not for the book, though. That's just for the videos. His drawings were great for the video.
Yeah, because I like that. I just looked at it briefly now, but I like the fact, because I'm really into making like zines and like collage-y stuff and just random, like really spontaneous stuff. And I think that video had that kind of feel as well, which I really liked.
Yeah, it's because there was two factors. One, I didn't know how to make videos, so I didn't know what I was doing. And number two, neither of us really thought about how you should have the pictures on a certain size piece of paper or take the pictures in a certain way, or else some of the pictures are going to be like this and some of the pictures are going to be like this.
Yeah.
I don't think about that kind of stuff going in, really. So, yeah, that's how I learned
too. Because I wanted to make some kind of video for something, and then I didn't know how anything worked, so then I made this. I just filmed everything, and then I cut out these figures and stuff, and I moved them around, and I just filmed everything, and then I just put it into the iMovie, and I just cut the bits out where my hands were, so that it ended up like this animation thing. But it was like the slowest, most stupid process. It just took ages, and people were like, "Why did you do it that way?" But I just solved it, in my own way. And I kind of liked the fact that it was really old school, but using a digital format, but doing it. Huh?
You're an ENTP, right?
No.
Are you an INFP?
Nope.
Talking with famous people.
All right, let's do this. You have to guess my type now. You can ask me questions then.
Okay, I'll ask you questions. Do you have strong political opinions?